The Milwaukee Bucks swept the Miami Heat in a dominant way, and their championship-level defense was a major part in the sweep. Hey yo, what's good with y'all? My name is Will, and welcome back to Will Soldier Hoops. In this video, I'll be breaking down how the Milwaukee Bucks had the Miami Heat offense on absolute lockdown. But remember that a like is very appreciated, as it helps a small creator like me a whole lot, and if you like basketball, this is the channel for you, so feel free to subscribe so you never miss another great video. But let's get into it. The Miami Heat only averaged 98 points per game in the series against the Milwaukee Bucks, with the Bucks controlling the pace nearly the entire series. As a team, they shot just 39.5% from the field, with Jimmy Butler shooting 29.7% from the field in the series, along with 26.7% from three. Bam Adebayo also shot well below his season average, and same goes for Tyler Herro, Kendrick Nunn, and Duncan Robinson. And to put it simply, they were on absolute clamps, pure lockdown. The additions of Jrue Holiday and PJ Tucker showed out the most for the Bucks on the defensive end, as well as Bobby Portis. But Holiday and Tucker were excellent in this series, so when Giannis or Brook aren't on the court, the Bucks are still shutting down opposing offenses. To begin the game, after two straight Duncan Robinson threes, Donte DiVincenzo smothers the three-point line, so Robinson drives off the ball screen, but Lopez is playing drop coverage to cut off any drive too deep. Also, Robinson is not a good ball handler, and Giannis ends up easily poking his dribble loose to get a turnover from his blind side. Jrue Holiday also adds another dynamic to this Bucks defense, putting a ton of pressure on ball, which many times ends up breaking a play. Here is his relentless defense and pressure against Goran Dragic, who wants to use a ball screen, but he gets cut off before he can use it, and he even ends up getting a piece of the ball. Here, Jimmy wants to use a ball screen from Bam to free himself up from PJ Tucker for a drive. The screen is effective, but Bobby Portis is able to hedge very well, preventing Jimmy from being able to attack while simultaneously giving PJ Tucker time to recover and eventually contest the shot. What is so great about the Milwaukee Bucks defense is simply their ability to switch almost all positions, and usually Brook Lopez is away from the action up top because he's normally played in drop coverage. On this possession, the Heat run a quick DHO, but Giannis can easily switch on to Dragic, eliminating any potential effectiveness of that play. Dragic ends up passing it away, and it is too late in the shot clock to look for another shot, so Jimmy is forced into a shot that isn't comfortable for him. Bam Adebayo also had a ton of trouble offensively in this series because of Brook Lopez. Adebayo attacks on this drive with a spin gather, but it is very well contested by Lopez. Jimmy wants the ISO on this play where he goes to the post against PJ Tucker, but PJ Tucker is very strong. He ends up holding his ground, and he gets the best contest that you could have asked for on this post fadeaway. Back to Jrue Holiday, he's still playing relentless defense on Goran Dragic, breaking down the plays that Miami tries to run from the jump. Check out the defense on this DHO for Dragic, which is an easy switch. Dragic does get enough space to pull up a shot, but Giannis does get a good contest because of his length. However, you will see later on in the next game, Milwaukee did make an adjustment regarding this. Even though it was a good contest, that is still a shot that Dragic could make that needs to be taken away. Here, the Miami Heat run a pick and roll set with Bam and Jimmy. They continue to use drop coverage whenever Lopez is involved in the action, as he's taking away the Butler drive here, and once Butler passes it to the rolling Bam, Lopez is still in position, and he forces Adebayo into a wild floater, which is not his game. Here, Giannis and Holiday end up switched, where Holiday is now guarding Butler, but Holiday, like Giannis, is also a versatile defender that can guard any wing player. He is applying that pressure on Jimmy Butler, where he's forced to pass out. To begin game 2, Bam Adebayo starts off aggressive, trying to back down Lopez, but he gives up pretty early on as he realizes he is not gonna move Brook Lopez, going to the fadeaway, but it is well contested. Here, Jimmy gets a one-on-one with PJ Tucker. He tries to drive, but he ends up getting cut off. The offense is then stagnant as Butler is trying to figure out what to do, and he ends up passing out, which that could have got stolen. The Heat run their DHO again for Duncan Robinson, which ends up getting switched and completely shut down from the jump. This action is designed to get Duncan Robinson a catch and shoot three, but the switch took that away, and now he's got to be Jrue one-on-one off the dribble That's not his game. Here's the adjustment I talked about earlier. This isn't exactly a DHO, but the play is designed to get the same result. At first, DiVincenzo stays, but once Dragic tries to use the screen to get freed up going right, Giannis immediately swarms him and puts a ton of on-ball pressure on him. And instead of a good contest that still could have given a makeable shot, there is no shot at all, and the Bucks almost force a turnover. This play really shows where Miami messed up all series though. The weakness of the Bucks defense is in their rotations. The interior is always great, the switches are always great, drop coverage on pick and rolls, all that is good. But their weakness is in the defensive rotations, and the way to get the defense rotating is to move the ball around multiple times. Great ball movement gets the defense rotating, and they didn't do that at all. This pick and roll was the perfect opportunity to do so, as Giannis steps away from his man to take the roll man, but instead of looking to make a play, Dedmon has his head down and he isn't aware there is one defender playing in between two shooters on the weak side. You've gotta know where your teammates are at all times, and this is the mistake he made. By the time he turns around, Giannis slaps the ball away and he forces the turnover. Now in game 3, Butler wants to use this Ariza screen to get freed up, but Brent Forbes holds down the right side, forcing Butler to go towards Giannis' side. So Giannis already knows Butler can only attack the left, which is the side he's playing. He's waiting to cut him off as soon as he makes a move, and Butler is eventually forced into a tough mid-range shot. The Bucks are still up 17 during this play, but Jrue Holiday's relentless defense continues. Even behind the half-court line, he's keeping pressure on Goran Dragic. But when sets get broken up by defense like we've seen from Jrue, this is how the rest of it normally plays out. They give it to their star to try to create something late in the shot clock, but with him being locked down by PJ Tucker, there isn't much he can do. With this on-ball screen, the Bucks again switch with Giannis picking up. And look at Giannis cut off Dragic's path to use the next screen from Adebayo, forcing him to go left. He does get around the screen that way and he ends up getting to his mid-range spot that he likes, but notice how quickly Giannis recovers, and now the Heat have to reset their offense. Bam's decision making was very questionable in this series. Here in game 4, he tries to attack Lopez head on in the paint, which again ends up being ineffective. Lopez is so good at walling up around the rim without fouling and forcing the offensive player into a tough shot. We always talk about how great Giannis's help defense is, and this is why. Bobby Portis bites on the Dedmon fake, giving Dedmon what he thinks to be an easy uncontested look. But Giannis, with his length and athleticism, is able to step down and block the shot. His coverage is unreal. But on this play, it is Portis helping out Giannis as Butler uses a ball screen. Portis hedges it well the entire way, keeping Jimmy from driving, but also giving Giannis time to recover. Jimmy definitely forced a bad shot here though. He had Ariza who he could have passed to on this cut, with Connaughton leaving him for the roll man. On this DHO, Middleton does a great job of fighting over on Duncan Robinson, which takes away the three-point shot, but Jrue Holiday also steps away from Butler to cut off any potential drive since Middleton was on the hip of Robinson. However, he is still able to stay in the passing lane between Robinson and Butler, and he gets his hand on it. The Milwaukee Bucks played near perfect defense in this series against Miami. Jimmy Butler couldn't do anything against PJ Tucker, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or Jrue Holiday. Bam not only looked to be nervous and making poor decisions, but Brook made him an offensive non-factor. The switches on the dribble handoffs negated any type of effectiveness those could have had because of the amount of versatile defenders Milwaukee has. Also, the pressure on ball causing plays to be broken up and turnovers to be forced. This was a defensive clinic from the Bucks. I am somewhat disappointed in the Miami Heat because if they simply included more ball movement, they could have taken advantage of the rotations on multiple plays, but I don't think it keeps them from getting swept because everything else about this defense was on point, and I cannot wait to see what they do against Brooklyn. They're obviously going against 3 of the best shot makers in the NBA, so it's not going to be this easy, but Milwaukee for sure has the best tools to defend them out of anyone else in the NBA. But that's it for this video. Comment your thoughts on the Bucks defense down below. Also, if you enjoyed, remember that a like is very appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more great basketball content like this. Speaking of great basketball content, here's 2 other videos I made, so check out one of those if you are interested. But I'm out of here, and remember, keep on hooping.